Cast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar, Why You Want Virtual Tape for Your IBM iBackups, How to Simplify and Strengthen Backup Operations for IBM Power Systems. My name is Axe Signer, Vice President of Solutions here at Electronic Storage Corporation. Our company is located in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've been in business for over 30 years. We are an IBM business partner and a Microsoft certified partner. So here in our Tulsa office, we have our own programming staff and also customer service and technical support staff. So today's webcast, we're going to discuss 6 frequent IT problems solved by virtual tape, including backup speed, manual tape versus virtual tape, remote management of backups, improving your ability to recover from disaster cyber attacks, how to integrate virtual tape into your current operations, and performing a full system restricted state save. And then we'll just do a quick live demo of our virtual tape solution for IBM I. So number one, operations are being slowed down due to ongoing repetitious manual processes, slow backups. So we all know that tape backup to manual tape is going to be slower than actual backing up to virtual tape. So you can see in our chart here our speeds in megabytes per second, where our VTL solution to the far right at 850 megasecond backup speed compared to those LTO versions there in the speed. So more than double the speed of tape you can perform backups using virtual tape. So with manual tape, you've got a number of risks on your data: human error, mislabeled tapes, broken tapes, lost tapes, stolen tapes, any kind of issues that you might have with a physical tape library or a physical tape device. So with virtual tape, those risks are immediately reduced by eliminating manual steps. Processes are completely automated. And also a protect feature that ensures your images, your tape images, are immutable and can't be changed or deleted. So personnel time taking up having to manage, store, transport, or arrange for transport of physical tapes. So with backups, with virtual tapes, your backups are managed from your desktop. There's built-in encryption to ensure the data is secure. And with replication, you can have immediate copies of your backup stored safely off-site. This includes replication to cloud storage, replication to a disaster recovery site, wherein with a physical tape backup, you just have one copy of your saves. With virtual tape, you can have multiple copies of your backups. So at some point, someone has to be on site to manage physical tape backups, whether you're changing out tapes on a weekly basis in a physical tape library, or even changing tapes in a single tape device where you're having to change tapes on a daily basis. So not having to have to be on site or even having to swap tapes once a week or even on a daily basis, virtual tapes are going to be all online and available. Blank tapes are going to be online and available to do backups. All of your tapes can be available to do restores as well. So having to go and get a tape to do a particular restore is no longer needed with virtual tape, because all of your tapes can be online, accessible to do restores at any time. And that goes into slow recovery speeds. For the fact that you have to go and retrieve a tape off-site, that gives slow access to the data. So unlimited tape library, where you could have a virtual tape library that can store up to 16,000 virtual tapes in the tape library. So that is a lot of tapes that you can store within this system that you have access to immediately perform auditing or doing restores. So a quick recovery from disaster is severely limited with physical tape. So the physical tape needs to be sent to the location for your disaster recovery site, where in the case of replicating those backups to your disaster recovery site means that you can recover instantly. You can perform a full system recovery because you can perform a full system save and then have that replicated to a DR site or to cloud storage or even both. So at any time you can get copies of your backups without having to deal with physical tape. So integrating virtual tape into your current operations is very, very simple because we emulate a tape library or a physical tape device. You're going to be able to use the exact same backup procedures that you do today with your saves using physical tape, including restricted state saves, any of the go save commands or restore commands. Whether you're using BRMS or robot save, because we emulate a tape library, we work exactly the same as a physical device. The connection, you can either have a SAS connection, whether if your current tape device is connected SAS to the IBMI, or fiber channel connectivity from LaserVault to the IBMI, which could be 8 gig, 16 gig, 32 gig connection from the IBMI to the LaserVault Vital backup appliance. Also, you see in this diagram, you can create tapes from Vital, whether you're using dupe tape to copy from LaserVault to your physical IBM tape device, or connecting a tape device directly to LaserVault Vital and doing our tape out function, which creates a tape that you can restore to an IBMI. You can also take your tapes that are in storage, that are archive tapes, daily, weekly, monthly tapes, and copy those over to LaserVault using dupe media BRM or dupe tape, any of the duplication commands available in your backup solution to copy tapes, physical tapes to virtual tape. So archiving and purging of tapes makes where if you're using the ability to set retentions on your tapes with LaserVault, you can do that where you set retentions on your local on-premise saves as well as your replicated copies that can either be at a disaster recovery site or cloud storage or both. So data deduplication. So this can maximize storage and save on costs because with compression using data deduplication, you get a high compression ratio, up to 40-to-1 compression ratio of your backups. And we actually can connect to multiple different deduplication backup appliances, such as Exagrid, Rubrik, Cohesity, Quantum, Data Domain, NetApp, many more of these deduplication appliances where you can leverage that backup solution for your IBMI saves. Many companies are either looking at these deduplication backup appliances for all of their other open systems servers, and now you can look at using IBMI to using these systems with IBMI backups to leverage that investment of a backup appliance that performs deduplication, replication, data immutability, replication to cloud. And now LaserVault Vital even has a deduplication feature called bdupe that will perform data deduplication and replication. The other thing that deduplication will do for you besides save you a lot of money in disk space would be the speed of the replication of the backups. So you're replicating a lot less backup data with deduplication because the compression ratio is so high with deduplication, especially on DB2 data. So we'll take a quick look at a demo of LaserVault, show you some of the features and capabilities. First thing I'm going to show you is our web interface. So we're going to log in with a secure username and password. First thing I want to show you is just library configuration. So I have two virtual tape libraries defined within LaserVault. So let's take a look at some of the configuration options. So we have the library name, which can be whatever that you want to call within this system. And this library 1 is over here on the left. The library path are where all your virtual tapes are stored as well as your backups are written. In this case, we have LaserVault running on a server with disk that's available to write and store virtual tapes. This instead could be a path to a SAN, NAS storage, deduplication appliance. So backup appliance like Rubrik, Cohesity, Exagrid, to where LaserVault becomes a gateway. The data can be written and the virtual tapes can be stored directly on that backup appliance. So no storage is required on the LaserVault side. We're just going to pass that data right through the fiber channel connection from the IBM I out through a high-speed Ethernet connection to the backup storage appliance of your choice or whatever that you currently might be using. Emulation versions, LTO2 up to LTO8. None of those LTOs have a storage limitation. So if your backup on your production LPAR, a full save is 20 terabytes, it can fit all on one tape, no matter which of the LTO versions that you use. Typically, you would use 8. Also, these don't relate to backup speed. So LTO, if you're for some reason need LTO2 or you choose that, your backup speeds aren't any different than whether or not you choose LTO8. The number of storage slots, this is currently set to 48. Again, you can set this number up to 16,000 storage slots. So this is the number of tapes that you would have available within the tape library, the virtual tape library, that you can use for your saves and your retentions, your daily, weekly, monthly, yearly retention virtual tapes. The great thing about this is that you can increase that number to create more tapes anytime that you want. So you can increase the number of storage slots. So you virtually have a tape library that you can upgrade for storing more tapes just by changing that number. That's all you got to do. So speed is the big benefit with LaserVault and backing up to disk compared to physical tape. One of the features that we have within LaserVault is our data block file count. This is a multi-thread process, so the data block file count is currently set to 8. So if you're saving to a virtual tape, we're actually writing the data out to multiple files during the backup. So this increases your backup speed. This is one of the ways that one of the features that you use to get to that 850 megasecond backup speed, and that's with just a single virtual tape device that's set up within LaserVault, backing up from an IBM I Power 8 box we have in our data center. But the sweet spot for this is usually between 8 and 16 files. Then we also have a write cache feature, and this is for backup speed. Again, the sweet spot is usually between 8 and 16 to establish the fastest backup speed during the saves. Read cache is for restore speeds. LaserVault comes standard with compression, which averages about 5-to-1 compression. We have optional data deduplication here, and that can increase your compression anywhere 10-to-1 up to 40 or 1 or higher in compression of your data, which again reduces the amount of data you're replicating to a disaster recovery site, cloud storage, or both. Encryption is here, your encryption key. So this data, if checked, will be encrypted during the backup process. Whether it's deduplicated, it can be encrypted, or you're just using the standard compression that's included with the product, you can run encryption. Replication and retention. I've got 3 examples of replicating backups. Network path, which would be to say a server that's offsite at a disaster recovery site, one of your other data centers, a co-location, whatever the case might be. And this could be replicating data to a SAN or NAS at the disaster recovery site or another LaserVault server. Typically, our customers have 2 LaserVault servers, one for production backups at their production site or their DR site. Some people do that because they're replicating their journals to another AS400 or IBM and perform backups at that. Or you're performing backups from a flash copy. That's fine. However, that you're currently. The nice thing about this is your backup procedures don't change, so it makes it easy to connect LaserVault as a tape device and start running your backups. Amazon S3 replication, Microsoft Azure replication, Wasabi can be used to do for cloud storage. So if we just take a look at the replication features, one of the key features is email notifications. So LaserVault will automatically send email notifications when a replication job has begun, when it has completed, and if there were any kind of issue with the replication, you'd also receive an email on that particular instance. And that can be set, of course, to a group email account. So you see that for Azure, you've got all of your storage account properties defined. Hot, cool, archive. You can actually choose which tier that you want to set, that you're going to save to, or if it's the default, it's whatever you've got set up. The basic differences between these are how quickly do you need access to the data and downloading it from the cloud storage. Hot storage, of course, would mean that it's instantly available, and the others would mean that they take longer to restore from cloud storage. So currently we have, again, Azure S3 Wasabi. Others can be added if needed, if you're choosing a different particular cloud provider. Also down below here, you have local retention and remote retention. So your local retention would be where you're saving and storing your virtual tapes. If you're using Robot, Save, or BRMS, those retentions are handled through those products with expired tapes that get initialized and reused within the tape library. So many of our BRMS customers just use their media policies for all their virtual tapes for their daily, weekly, monthly tapes. But you can go ahead and set that if you want to based on age or number of volumes. So if you are, say, for example, creating a tape, automatically creating and initializing a tape before your backup runs on a daily basis, then you can go ahead and set retention on that tape for how long you want to store it. Remote retention can be based on the same criteria as local, or it could actually be even different to where you'd want to store the remote copy longer or a shorter period of time than the local retention, or vice versa. Local retention is stored less time, and remote retention, which would be your copies that are stored at a DR site or cloud storage, or both. And this is an automated process to perform replication and retention. So this runs automatically on a daily basis within LaserVault to perform the function of replicating backups and initializing tapes that have expired. This screen here shows you completed or currently running replication jobs on LaserVault. This is Library 1. Oh, let me start the service here. So Library 1, you can see that you have tapes in slots that have been created and added. So tapes can be created just by simply clicking this create button. Your drive is up here. You can have multiple drives. LaserVault does support NPIV, which means for each physical fiber channel port connected through a switch to an IBMI, can give you up to 64 tape devices. So that could be multiple tape libraries with multiple drives, or a single tape library with multiple drives. And you can do things like parallel saves, multiple control groups. If you say you're using VRMS, so parallel saves allows you to use 2 or more drives during a backup process, and that can greatly increase the speed of your backups as well. Creating tapes, just click this button, put in a 1, 2, or 3 character prefix for your 6-character volume ID. You can create multiple tape images, and you can go ahead and initialize those, which is the same thing as doing an INZ tape. Create your media, and so that will create all your virtual tapes that can be used on the IBMI in BRMS, Robot, or using any of the Go Save commands. And if we take a look at, we'll say we'll just use BRMS as an example. We'll work with media. So we've got some VT tapes, and those are here. So LaserVault can rotate through tapes. During a backup, it'll automatically load the tape into the drive. During a restore, it automatically loads the tape into the drive. So it does the exact same thing as a mechanical or physical tape library. It's just doing everything virtually and emulating that to the IBMI side. So if we do a work MLB status, TAP MLB V1 is LaserVault. With the tape device, again, up to 64 tape devices can be created and defined for each physical fiber channel port that is connected from LaserVault to the IBMI. If we do a 9 here, we can check our media. Anytime you add media, you're going to have star inserted status, and then you just simply go in and add those into, say, BRMS, or use in a rotation for daily, weekly, and monthly tapes. Some of the other features that can be restricted based on groups that the user belongs to when they log in. So you can define security whether or not a user can move a tape from, say, the slot to the drive. You can also limit whether a user can delete a tape, export a tape, and export means that the tape is moved from the list of tapes or moved from inventory to your export path. So if you wanted to, if you've got a tape that you need to store for 7 years or 10 years, you can always move that tape out of inventory and store it in the export path. That export path is actually cloud storage. And anytime you needed that tape, you click import up here at the top, and that'll show you any tapes that have been replicated or been exported. Check the tape, import, and it brings that tape back into inventory for you to restore from. Unprotect and protect. So protecting a tape means that it cannot be overwritten, it cannot be initialized, and it cannot be deleted. Protect and unprotect can be automatically set on a tape from the IBMI side. We have commands on the IBMI to do a protect on a tape and an unprotect on a tape. And that feature can also be limited based on username and profile. So a user that logs in, if you don't want them to be able to turn off the protect feature, then that can be a feature that's limited based on username and password. Labels. Click on labels to see what's on the tape in terms of the libraries. the sequence, and the size of the libraries. So that's a nice little feature if you need to see what's on a tape before you load it and restore it. Otherwise, if you're using any backup software like RobotSave, VRMS, you're going to have all that in a database where you can select what you want to restore, object, library, and then that it knows which tape it's on. That tape gets automatically loaded in the drive, and the restore performs immediately. And so this is where you virtually can have all of your tapes online right here. So anytime a restore needs to be done on any tape from any point in time, that can be easily performed without having to go get a physical tape. The restore also begins immediately. So we'll go right to the object where it's located on the virtual tape, and the restore will begin immediately. Tape will stream through to get to the point where the file is located. The newer LTO versions are, faster at that, but not as fast as virtual. So we'll go right to that point on the tape where that object or library is saved to, and begin the restore immediately. So restores are quite a bit faster. Okay. Okay, so we got to take a look at it. We've got some additional resources that you can download. These handouts, some technical specs, data sheets, sizing questionnaire. So the sizing questionnaire, you can go ahead and take a look at that and complete any information that you have available. This does some things where we determine, can help us determine how many fiber channel ports are needed in LaserVault to connect to the IBM iSight, for number one, for the number of tape devices and LPARs that you're saving, as well as for the bandwidth, whether we use 1, 2, or 4 or more fiber channel ports in LaserVault, whether they're 8 gig, or typically we're now configuring our systems with 16 gig fiber channel. And so, especially once you complete the questionnaire, then if you want to, we can go through a more in-depth, detailed demo to go over your IBM I backup requirements, to go over what storage you would want to use, whether we can configure storage for you in a LaserVault Vital server, or you're going to use existing SAN or NAS storage or backup appliance storage. So that way we can get together and kind of talk about the different things, and provide even a quote for you on exactly what you need, because we also offer this as software, and you can provide the server environment for hosting the VTL software, LaserVault Vital, as well as the fiber channel HBAs to connect from LaserVault to the IBM iSight, as well as the storage. So in some cases, we can just provide the software license, which is a perpetual license of our product. So also 12 reasons to go tapeless, LaserVault in 60 seconds. Both of those are videos you can take a look at. We do record these webinars, and those will soon be available on our YouTube channel, and we'll email you the link later this afternoon to get to that. And so also for a demo, if you'd like to receive our $50 Amazon gift card for seeing a demo of our LaserVault product, Vital, we can send that to you once the demo is complete. LaserVault.com, take a look at our website. It is brand new. It's just been rolled out. So we've got a new website out there with even more information on Vital, as well as a backup solution that does backups through TCP/IP, and our document imaging solution. Okay, so I want to thank everybody today for spending time taking a look at LaserVault Vital and the benefits of using virtual tape compared to physical tape. We'll have a quick drawing here later this afternoon, for a pair of Bluetooth earbuds. So the winner of that will be notified via email once that drawing is complete. Contact information, info@laservault.com. Extension 1001 is my direct extension, so feel free to email or call if you have questions or want to set a demonstration, a time to do a demonstration and go in some more in-depth information on your IBM I backup requirements. Okay, so I want to thank again everybody for their time. If there's any questions, I can hang on here, and there's a way to ask questions within the GoToMeeting GoToMeeting panel, and I can hang on here for a couple minutes and see if there's any questions from anybody. One thing to also note is that in most cases for installation and training can be done remotely, and we do provide that to where we can do configuration, help you configure LaserVault for your IBM I backups, and then we can help you do that remotely. It's really simple once you've connected the cables from the server to the IBM I side. We can help you configure tape devices for your partitions. We can provide training on how to use the product, help you run test backups, even help you with anything in BRMS or Robot Save for configuration. But it's just a matter of moving from your physical tape library to the virtual, because everything is exactly the same. Just a lot more benefits: speed, data protection, replication, disaster recovery. All of these things apply when you can instantly switch over to a virtual tape solution when there's relatively no change in your backup procedures on the IBM I side. Okay, great. Well, thanks everyone again for your time, and have a good rest of your day. Thank you. Bye-bye.